Hey guys, today I'm doing another one of these little vlog things, and yeah, this isn't all the extra bits, because that's my thing about gaming and films and stuff going on my channel, hence all the extra bits. All the other stuff I didn't talk about in other videos, and all of that stuff, but this isn't that, and I didn't want to call it that, because this is a little more serious, and I don't want people coming here thinking, yay, games and things, and then getting this. Because this is going to be more serious, and you'll be like, oh, serious, Peter, that's not what I wanted. But it's important that I talk about this, because it's to do with the internet, and the internet's incredibly important to me. I'm broadcasting on the internet right now. Well, I make my money on the internet. Just a lot of important things, and yeah. So, fairly recently, if you don't know, the UK had a general election, and the Conservatives were voted in with majority, which, well, at first I thought was fine. I want to kind of... I'm not going to talk too much about politics because that's not what it's about, but there are a few points I need to just basically clear up. Number one, I voted Conservative because I thought that they had the best kind of plan for the economy. Their overall economic plan seems pretty good. I know there are a lot of things that go against them, you know, like they don't necessarily treat poor people or think about the poor people when they make their policies particularly well. But in my opinion, if you fix an entire economy, it's just a good way of making the country generally better. And I know there's a lot of things about the NHS, and a lot of people seem to think that they have to pay for the NHS now or something, but that's not what any of that means, but that's actually not what this is about, so I'm not going to go too much into their policies. Yeah, I voted for them. I thought they had some good policies. I stacked up the points, and most of their policies were the ones I liked most, so I voted for them. And there are a few things that not that I didn't know. Well, I didn't know because they didn't say. A few things they didn't really put a lot of emphasis on or even really mention in their manifesto. In fact, I'm pretty sure they've set some sort of land speed record for lying already. So yeah, although I did vote Conservative, I'm regretting it now because of a lot of things that have come out. So this is relatively unbiased. I make a lot of jokes about filthy liberals, but that's just my weird humor. I'm not really biased to one side or another. A lot of my family are liberal or Labour or just anything. A lot of my friends are different things, so I'm not like super rich. I mean, seriously, I could show you my house. It's like just yeah. So yeah, I'm fairly unbiased, but there is one policy that they've announced or pretty much announced when they knew they were going to get in, and that is the Internet Snooping Act. That's not its actual name, but that's basically its like layman's terms name. I might put the actual name of the act up on screen, but basically it's changing had some of the internet privacy rules, because I'm sure a lot of you know that in the USA, for a while the NSA had the ability to spy on the civilians, on people. They could look through emails, they could look through people's just internet history, they could see what everyone's doing basically if they so pleased. And it's been recently made illegal in America, which I think is a great move. Good job, America. America, fuck yeah, freedom and stuff. And that is actually freedom. You should have freedom to have privacy. However, Britain decided that, well, the Conservatives have decided that, nah, that's not so good. They were like, let's start this. It worked so well in America. And so, yeah, basically the idea is that now they can force internet service providers to just basically just give them all of your internet search history. I heard someone today say, doing that so they can sell you better things, and no, that's not what they're doing. They're not trying to advertise to you. That's Facebook and YouTube and Twitter's job. So it's nothing like that. It's well, I'm not sure entirely why they're doing this. I can make a few very educated guesses, such as counterterrorism, which seems to be a big thing. You say counterterrorism, everyone's like, okay, yeah, it's fuck up some terrorists. Or just making sure people don't do illegal things on the internet. So maybe, I don't know, people like hackers, just black hat hackers who would be causing issues, or people who maybe run illegal sites, just broadcasting illegal things, stuff that, yeah, I'd like to see gone, but this is the wrong way to do it. And, it's a lot of things. I mean, there's been, for years, people, trolling the internet, trying to find terrorist activity and that sort of stuff. So that's kind of my thoughts, that it's just, they're trying to be more secure. But, well, there's a limit to what counts as security and what counts as just 1984 style Big Brother, we're gonna watch what you do. Like, one of the arguments is, well, if you've got nothing to hide, then, then it's fine for people to look at you. Okay, right, okay, so let's look at that another way. Say take your house. Say people want to put cameras in your house. Maybe you don't want it in your bathroom or your bedroom because often you're not wearing any clothes in there, and that's just something we naturally want to hide. But say your dining room or your kitchen, somewhere where you just, unless you cook naked, I guess. But no, somewhere where you just sit and eat and do things. You wouldn't want a camera in there that anyone can look at whenever they want, do you? Even if it's to stop the terrorists in your dining room. That's still, I know it's not the same, but it's still a breach of privacy which is too far. Because I'm reasonably confident that the government probably won't be, spending a lot of time looking at my emails or my Skype calls on my things. But, sometimes I like to just not feel like people are watching me. So, yeah, that is the problem. Now, yeah, basically, last time they tried this, there was a coalition government between the Conservatives and the Liberal Democrats. And the Liberal Democrats, who had enough power to say, no, we're not doing this, this just isn't going to be a thing. And they stopped it. Because they thought it was wrong, like I did. I mean, okay, not to oversimplify or, take away the importance of this point, but take Batman. This is a good example. Take Batman the Dark Knight. There's a scene where Batman needs to find the Joker, and he needs to find it to save people's lives from a terrorist, who is the Joker. Joker's a terrorist, and you need to stop them blowing up the boats. So he creates this system which turns everyone's cell phones into radar, sonar things, so that he can see and hear everything in the city. Everything anyone has a phone to. And yes, he uses it to catch the Joker. And Lucius Fox says, yes, I'll help you this one time, but this is wrong. This is morally wrong. We're going to get rid of this after we've done this. And yeah, and they did, because it's wrong to have that much power. And yeah, so that's a pretty good example of what this almost is the government taking away our privacy to fight a threat that they're scared of, which, I mean, in my eyes, doesn't even really exist. Yes, there have been terrorist attacks in Britain, but not for, I'm not sure how long, maybe 10 years. And yeah, I like that they stop it, but they haven't had to spy on us, this far, and they've stopped quite a, I haven't seen a great deal of terrorism. And maybe it's because people are getting very scared that, that people are being radicalized, and they think that's happening over the internet. Maybe there's a lot of reasons that they could be doing this, but this, I'm just going to try and get to my point reasonably soon, is this is wrong, because I don't want people to be spying on my things. I just don't want them seeing everything I do on the internet. I don't want them seeing just, it's just not right to spy on everyone. There's a level. I fully agree with counter-terrorist acts and things that try to keep our country safer, but I don't feel safe if everything I do on the internet, which is, I use my computer a lot. I make my money on the internet. I do all that stuff. And I don't feel safer knowing that someone's looking at everything like that. What if I make a terrorist joke, as I often do, and someone's like, well, he said jihad, I'm probably going to go and, don't expect that could happen, but I just feel like, I'm sure most of the searching through the internet will be done probably by machines, but I don't want people reading my private emails to my girlfriend or my family or things like that. That's not for them. That's not, it's hard to, I don't know, it's hard to point out the exact point, but anyway, I think I've pretty much cleared up the fact that this is wrong. This is just an awful thing. So, there are two things we can do, because I don't want this to happen, and I'm sure there are a lot more people more powerful than me. NerdCube, for one, I saw his vlog about it. That was very, very important, and a lot of people with a lot more power than me will, help fight this. But for the people watching, don't ever feel powerless to your government. They work for you, okay? Your government works for you, and maybe it doesn't feel like that anymore because you're scared of them and things. And I'm not one of those people who's crazy against the government. I like a lot of the things they do. It seems like some stuff shitty, but, it's a very difficult job. But this, don't ever feel like the government has the right to your information. They don't have the right to look at what you do all the time. That's just not okay. Never just... So yeah, anyway, my point is that you don't have to sit around and let this happen. So, I mean, maybe stuff as simple as writing a letter to your local MP. Or just I don't know. I mean, there's the best thing to do would be to stop it happen. I don't know. Maybe someone will have a protest, and you can be pretty safe doing a protest in the UK. The police generally pretty nice. So maybe if there's a protest about these things or other things and you agree with, maybe protest it peacefully. Don't break things or hurt people, but you can make your voice heard and maybe write a letter to your MP telling them not to do this. But maybe the people in government will decide to do it anyway. And then there are a few other things you can do. Now, my first thought was, man, I hope Anonymous fuck them up. Just some people like, I don't know, I guess Anonymous or someone just is like, fuck you. But that wouldn't help. Aggression doesn't help, and that would be aggression. That would be an act of terrorism. And that's not gonna help stop the law. Basically, if someone was to, I don't know what, gain entry to some root files in the internet, in the government's servers or something, and basically just breach their security, that's not going to make people go, okay, let's stop doing this. They're going to be like, okay, we pump more funds into finding everything on the internet. I want it on all my screens. I want to be able to see what everyone is doing. Yeah. So that's not a good idea. So, prevention, best. Aggression, bad. Now, pretty heavy chance that it does just happen, and we get it, and there are a few things you can do, actually, to just circumvent them, which I will do. Not because I have anything to hide, not even really because I even want to hide it, although that is part of it, why I would just not let them have access. And I'm not much of a fuck you government thing, but the main reason I would hide my information is a fuck you, you have no power. Because, yeah, so there are a few things you can do, which I will research, and if it comes to it, I will explain how to do. Stuff like, I was a little worried that they would be doing it much smarter, actually. I thought they were going to be much smarter about it, but basically the way they're going to do this is they're just going to be able to get information from your ISP. And there are multiple ways you can stop your ISP from seeing what you've done, or are doing. This sounds like I'm saying it like you're doing something awful, like watching child porn, but just, fuck, if you don't want someone to see your emails, don't let them see your emails. So, there are things like SSLs, which you can use, which I will research a little more. I haven't done anything like that in a while, and there are VPNs which can reroute your IP address, but that only really works on this side you're sending it to, not your ISP. They'll know where you are. But there are ways, and if it comes to it, I will research them, or maybe just find some links, and just tell you how to stop the government seeing what you're doing, because you have the right to privacy. That is part of the Human Rights Act, that we have the right to privacy, and the internet is so fundamental in our lives these days that we do have the right to internet privacy. But don't get all behind the Human Rights Act, because they're getting rid of that. Bill of Rights now. Gonna get a Bill of Rights. I don't know if that's good. I think Human Rights Act is some pretty fundamental things. But yeah. So, write a fucking letter and protest this, and I'm not saying go out on the streets and, hold up a banner, but I don't know, do something. Don't be powerless, because this isn't right, and it needs to not happen, and if it does happen, then, well, they're doing it in such a stupid way that it'll be reasonably easy to hide. So, yeah, let's hope that this doesn't turn into 1984, and that we don't have to jump into our Faraday cages. Yeah, anyway, I'll see you next time.